Tonight we're going to tie a fly that we developed here at Headwaters Chapter 642 called the Blue Ox Gurgler, and it is a typical gurgler pattern made with a size 2 hook O'Shaughnessy. We're going to use some white marabou. We have some blue flashabou. There will be some white or opalescent chenille, and we'll also use a little bit of red rabbit fur as a throat. The body is going to be made up of some blue foam, the blue to represent Babe the Blue Ox, and sitting with that theme we also have a set of small white antlers we've tied. So let's get started. We're going to start with the size 2 hook in the vise, and we will place a small bit of thread on the hook shank. We're just going to do quick coverage on here. We're going to start with a small piece of marabou, and we're going to put the white marabou, so we're going to measure, we want to maybe about a hook shank length, and so I'll do a couple of loose wraps here, and I'm just going to loosely bind this down, trim it off towards the eye of the, about middle of the hook. And again, I'm just going to do quickly tie that down to about the barb of the hook. So the next thing we're going to do is take some blue flashabou, and we only need 2 or 3 strands of this because we're going to be folding and doubling it up. So I'm going to take 2 strands, we'll fold it in half roughly and cut that, and then fold that in half. So we're going to take these and we're going to lay this on top of the hook, holding it on top. We'll just do a couple of loose wraps and fold the remainder back. Secure that in place. You can use your thumbnail to spread it around a little bit. We don't need much flash, we just want a little bit there, but if you choose to add more, that's fine. The next step will be to tie the foam body down. We're first going to put a layer of head cement or glue down, and then we will take the foam body starting right behind the eye of the hook, lay it down on top, and then pinch it with your fingers and do a couple of loose wraps to hold it. You're going to want to wind this around, body wrap it a little bit here. I'm going to leave a little nub up here at the front to hold the foam up a little at the last step. So there's no need to go too crazy with wrapping that down tight. So we just want to make sure we're wrapped back far enough that we're covering everything. Next we will take our pearl chenille. In this case I have opalescent. Prepare your chenilles for being tied down. Just tie that at the back, and then move your thread to the front right behind this little nub we made, and just wrap your chenille around. When we get to the front, we'll just tie that off. There. So when we're done, we have a full body coverage. The next step we're going to do is fold this foam up to the front. We want it to stick past the eye a little bit. And then pinch it. And we're just going to, a couple of light wraps there. Get a little bit tighter. We want that to stick up a little bit. And you'll see now why we chose to do a little bump is to hold that up so it doesn't crowd the eye of your hook. The next step we're going to do is tie on our antlers, and you'll see they're just little foam antlers we've cut out. So we're going to do this kind of like you would tie on dumbbell eyes. You do a couple of cross wraps, one direction, a couple more the next, and that's it. We don't need to do a whole lot of tightening on those. It's basically a strike indicator. So if you have head cement or Sally Hansen's, we're going to put a drop of glue right behind them on the threads. Try not to get it on the foam. The next step will be taking a small piece of red to tie as a throat. In this case we're using rabbit fur, but we've also used marabou feathers, craft fur, or simply just red flash. I like using the rabbit fur because it allows you to keep the fur attached to the hide. So I'm going to turn my vise upside down, hold this here, and I'm just going to do a couple of simple light wraps. Get that in place. I'm going to trim off so this fly we tied today is called the Blue Ox Gurgler, made to look like Babe the Blue Ox. We've also tied some patterns to make them look like deer, so we have different cut reindeer antlers using some similar body materials. This case we used bucktail as a tail. We have also tied this in a mouse pattern with gray and black with a pair of ears. And we've also tied frog patterns in various types. This one has got 2 layers of body foam and rubber legs for kicking legs there. So we've even glued some eyes on the front. So there's a lot you can do with this pattern, and I probably have a couple of dozen different colors that we've tied. So thanks for watching.